Hi there, gorgeous, and a very happy money-saving March to you. If you haven't heard, every video coming out the entire month of March is drugstore themed, and I'm also doing 5 videos a week, so please subscribe so you don't miss out on any videos coming out in the future. Today I'm reviewing the Beauty Aquasurance Powder Foundation. I've seen a lot of requests for this one, so I'll be showing you an up-close application with it. I've also conducted a full day's wear test. They are making a lot of bold claims with this one, so we will be testing each and every one of those out in today's video. For reference, I have an oily complexion. It's extremely hard to find things that will last on my skin, especially powders. So the fact that this is a powder foundation makes it all the more challenging, but I will show you everything. Good, bad, and ugly. Right now, the only thing I have on my skin is a moisturizer. I do not apply primers before my wear tests generally, and if I do, I will absolutely let you know. Now, this is a medium to full coverage foundation. They claim that it will help to minimize the appearance of pores, absorbs and balances excess oil without looking cakey. Now, that's a very key point because a lot of these powders can tend to look pretty doggone cakey. So we're going to test all of these factors out. They also say that it has an innovative technology with water lock system to maintain moisture within the powder. So it shouldn't feel drying on the skin. It should feel moisturizing on application. And they do include a sponge with this also for application. And they claim that the sponge is antibacterial, so you don't have to worry about that. Although I would still wash the sponge personally. Just like a beauty blender, same type of deal. The shade that I'm using here is Ivory. I was disappointed in the lack of shades that they offered within this line. If it's such a great foundation, like a lot of people are saying that it is, they should offer it in every single skin tone that they possibly can, and I feel like they really failed there. So taking the sponge, I'm going to load it up with some of that powder. Whoa! Yeah, that's a thumbnail moment right there. Oh, see, I'm not liking this already. It's starting to look texturized on me. It's not looking smooth. It's definitely not blending in as beautifully as it could. Now, it is very soft on the skin, I'll give it that, but it's not a pretty look. You can see what I mean here. If you come in real close on my cheek area especially, you'll see what I mean by texturized. It's accentuating my pores. It's not minimizing them like they claim that it will. So I'm really disappointed to see that. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have applied my concealer first because I don't think that applying a liquid concealer over the powder foundation is going to look too good. So what I'm going to do is take everything off completely and try the powder foundation again. I want to see if having nothing on my skin makes it apply better, because sometimes a moisturizer can affect things, although that's a really good moisturizer. Take number 2, I have my concealer applied. Let's try the powder foundation again. And if I don't like it with the sponge they've given us here, I'm going to try it with a different applicator. See if that makes a difference. Okay, well, here I'm being proved right, but I don't like that I'm being proved right because I like to have a moisturizer on my skin before I use any product whatsoever, especially a foundation, even if it is a powder. And now that I have nothing on my skin whatsoever, except for the concealer, of course, now it looks beautiful. Now the coverage is beautiful. That's with one layer of the powder foundation applied. You can see from this side to this side, it's a very natural appearance on the skin. And it did help to disguise my pores. If I come in real close here, you can see my pores on this side still, and this side, they are covered up. If I apply another layer, I just want to see what it's going to do. Because they say, oh yeah, yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't do that. Now it's looking like it did before with the moisturizer, and it's starting to texturize my skin again, and you can see it right there. So less is definitely more with this product. I'm going to take a powder brush this time, and I'm going to use that to apply it instead of the sponge that they gave us there, to see if that makes a difference. And it does. It absolutely gives you an airbrushed finish with the brush as opposed to the sponge. The sponge tends to pack things on, and I usually will not use a powder foundation with the sponge they include because I don't like to have a packed on look. Although when you use a brush instead of the sponge they gave you, it does not minimize the pores. The pores are still very visible, and you can see them right here especially. As far as how it feels on the skin, it is very lightweight. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything at all. I mean, this is a product that you could wear all day, I feel like, and you wouldn't even notice it, whereas other products feel like they're starting to either dry out your skin or you can feel the heaviness of them. This is so light that it's barely detectable. The coverage claim they made saying this is medium to full coverage, I'd have to disagree with that. I feel like this is more medium coverage, not full coverage, because if you look right here, I have a leftover acne mark and it's showing through that powder foundation. This is not a foundation that you could layer. It's one of those that you're going to have to apply one layer of it and be happy with the results that you get, because if you apply a second layer, it's going to start to look texturized on the skin and unflattering, and you can still see on my nose especially where it's created those tiny little dots all around right there. So I've had this foundation on for almost 9 hours at this point, and it's a hot mess. I mean, there is so much oil here, I could set up my own oil rig, I'm just saying. And if you look at my nose, it has really, really moved around my nose, and it's not pretty. If I come in really close here, you can see what I mean. See there, that, ugh. Shine? No shine. Shine. But no, seriously, look at how much has moved around my nose. That's Now in other parts of the face, it hasn't moved. It's pretty well intact, although it did rub off my chin. So it's not really on my chin anymore, so that part disappeared. But for my cheek area up here, it's still there. It doesn't look splotchy, it doesn't look patchy. And on my forehead, it looks pretty clear, but that shine breakthrough is ridiculous. And what did they say? What did they say? They said this absorbs and balances excess oil without creasing and looking cakey. Well, it doesn't look cakey, but it just, yeah, it creased on my nose and it did not do anything for that oil production. Is this a powder that I would use again? Nope. Let me know your thoughts on this powder foundation. There were a lot of you saying that you have tried it, so I would like to hear your experience on it. And if you have an oily complexion, let me know also. Because this one, I really expected more out of it. I did. And I like the J-Cat Beauty brand. I've not had any issues with a good majority of the products I've tried from them, so this is rather disappointing to see, but would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for being here and taking the time to watch, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.